So now on to 17th place on the ladder,
Oh.
which I actually didn't realize you finished this low.
Yeah, because of Adelaide
Collingwood.
won. Yeah.
You know what? This might take the cake. This might have an F just because of the actual fall from grace that they've experienced. Like North Melbourne were already fucking shit.
Yeah.
But Collingwood have had the biggest fall from grace we've seen in a while. So they've got an F from
I'd
me.
say the D's in 2019 probably is bad as that.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty bad, yeah.
Because
that was very bad.
We've had the same
But
sort
look where they've rebounded to. I don't see Collingwood rebounding anywhere anytime soon. I think this is going to be Collingwood are in for a long run of shit.
We won't be a 1,000-year rebuild like you guys are.
At the end of last year, I basically said to all of my friends that are Collingwood supporters that without actually saying it, the club has admitted that they need to rebuild. That's why they're getting rid of all these players from the salary cap because they're starting the rebuild. So personally, I don't think it's an F because I think they know that they're rebuilding. And I think that's what is represented right there. Yes, they dropped from 8th to 17th, but I think the reason they culled all their players at the end of the year was because they knew that this is it. Now we're bringing in the young players.
We almost missed the finals last year as well.
Yeah, see, so they didn't even do that well last year.
We were half a game off not making the 8.
Literally, the one draw got you into the 8.
If it wasn't for Melbourne slipping up a couple of times last year, we would have been at probably 9th or 10th. So it was pretty generous we made the finals last year. And it was just, a stroke of luck that we beat West Coast in that first week.
Yeah. Yeah, so I wouldn't go as far as an F. If there was E's not really a rating, I don't think. I think it goes D minus F. So I'll probably give D minus myself. I wouldn't say F. F is like.
So you think you give North Melbourne a better rating this year than Collingwood?
100% because North Melbourne weren't expected to do anything. I think literally if you went to people last year and you said, where do you think North Melbourne are going to finish? They'd probably say 18th. And they
North
did.
have less work with it as well. They're not.
Their list is not good.
Yeah,
their list is very bad.
Good. So they're in a different class.
Yeah, it's a different category sort of thing.
I'd say D. Look, they dug themselves a hole last year at the end of last year, trading away all their players. But like you said, I think they knew they were going to do that, and so they were just rebuilding. They still had a potential though, like that list that you look at with all your your senior players in there. I mean, you did have a lot of injuries, but still.
That's why I'd say it's not the same as North. Otherwise, I would say it's the same as North. But because their list is so much better, like you'd think that they'd probably still finish a little bit higher than 17th.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably would have put them maybe like 14th or something like that. So yeah, definitely a D minus around that mark.
Sounds good.
Right.
Is it me now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the greatest of seasons. I went in expecting us to be maybe just on the edge of the 8. But I feel like we've had a lot of injuries this year, and that hasn't helped. But at the same time, we've had a lot of issues going on behind the scenes, and we've had players that have looked disconnected at times this season when they're out there. It's just been one of those seasons, really. I haven't really experienced anything like this before with Collingwood, which is crazy to think. But on the bright side, we were playing the kids. And that's the good thing about it. We had some pretty memorable wins as well, beating Melbourne and beating Richmond, even the Carlton game we won. So we've had some memorable moments, and I'm not overly down on the team. I'm not. I haven't lost my feelings for the team. So I think overall this season, I'll probably give them a D as well, a D minus maybe. Because we have had our moments where we have been shocking, but we've also had the rare glimpse into the future and, into, what could be on offer by mid 2020. So I think we're a chance by the late decade to be back in finals, but I think the next couple of years is going to be pretty slow.
I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
But like you haven't had one like a proper rebuild for a while. You've been up there and quite successful for a very long time. So that's just always going to happen.
The last rebuild we had was 2005, and it lasted 1 year. We had a 1 year rebuild, and then from 2006 to 2014 we made the finals.
And I'm
hoping it isn't that long.
Yeah. Well, the other thing about Collingwood as well is they're a big club. So if you do the rebuild properly and you get back to looking promising, free agents are going to want to come to you as well.
I can guarantee you.
And you've got cap space.
We won't fuck around like Carlton did with their rebuild.
We'll get to that.
They have cap space there.
Carlton will struggle.
They're trying to get cap space.
Yeah.
I reckon they'll be in the same position we were in last season in years to come, because they're handing out all these absurd contracts to the like of Zach Williams and whatnot. And I think that will come back to bite them in the ass, just like how it did with us and Dane Beams.
How much did you just pay Grundy though? Didn't you pay him a fortune?
It's just not Carlton v Collingwood.
This
is just Collingwood. No, I'm saying Rob brought it up. Yeah. I'm just saying Rob brought up Carlton. Don't worry, we'll talk about Carlton later. But I think you did like. I just said that you have salary cap space, but in saying that you have 600 grand worth of, it's probably not 600. I don't know what it is. It's a lot of money. It's like 400K of a player's salary that doesn't even play for your club.
Beams and
Beams has been paid off. I'm pretty sure.
Beams has been paid.
Yeah, so you. I guess eventually it will get there, but
how long will we be paying that off for?
I think it was a 3-year deal, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's not as bad as I thought it was originally.
No, but yeah, so I think we're paying like probably the same for a player that plays for us.
Just have to pop it on the chin.
Yeah.
That guy stuffed up. Simple as that.
Oh well, so I think overall, what are we saying? D.
For who? I said F.
You said F for the first two. Yeah.
Because we're the bottom of the fucking ladder, mate. I mean, come on.
We're I know. 3 games off you, Tom. Relax.
Mate, Tom, your fall from grace over the past few years is a fucking.
I really hope that you don't go F, F, D, D, C, C, B, B, A. It's going to be a little bit more thought process into it than, they finished 17th.
If these two aren't fucking Fs, mate, I don't know what is. So
I'll
stand by F.
By no means is Collingwood.
All right. Well, Collingwood FC D.